What's going on YouTube? Doing here with Great, bringing you all the deck profile that you all wanted from the poll. This is my Dark Unity Magnets deck, aka my Dark Magnet Fusion deck. This deck kind of primarily plays kind of control-y play style, kind of sitting behind magnets and bouncing things back like Hyper Hammerhead every turn. While still waiting, drawing a Fiend to use Dark Unity to search a Dark Fusion and make Dark Gaia. Honestly, Dark Gaia isn't the full-time game plan with this deck, but it is a very nice include for the list. This list has gone through a lot of permutations, and I will give credit where credit is due. Huge shout out to Austin Davis for kind of being my little brainlet buddy and taking the time to deck build this list with me and kind of go through different test runs, because this is probably the 6th or 7th list that I've played of this deck, and I actually ended up getting third place at a smaller testing locals that Odd Toxin Gaming hosted. Round one I played against I played against Koala round one. I played against Koala round one with the new Vampiric Koala. Went 2-1 with that. Dark Gaia is just insane for turning all their stuff to attack position without triggering their flip effects. Round 2, I played against Amazonas, took a swift 2-1. Swordsman's is kind of scary against this deck, but not when we can just get 100 out of, where we can just take 100 off Swordswoman and bounce it back to our opponent's hand with Delta. Or if our board gets walled, then we can just start bouncing their swordswoman back to their hand. And then round 3, I played against, funnily enough, the guy that helped me build this deck, Austin Davis. He was playing Vampire. I really enjoyed TP Vampire as a deck, but honestly, what's weird is the list that I played Thursday night was only playing 2 Dark Gaia. There came a time in mine and Austin's game 2, because I won game 1. Yeah, I won game 1, Austin won game 2 and 3. There came a time in our game 2 where if I would have had a third Dark Gaia in the extra deck, I would have won the match. So, yeah, sad face there, but you live and you learn. I just hit the fucking stand. I'm really sorry if this video looks kind of shaky. I have a new kind of stand and lighting setup on my desk down in the basement, so we are just trying to learn from there. Going into the deck profile, starting out, we have our skill. We have Dark Unity. Obviously, this has the first line on it where Super Poly can be used to make things that could usually only have Dark Fusion, so you can use Super Poly to make Dark Gaia. We're not playing Super Poly in this list. I didn't go into my side deck at all, so I won't be showing it in this deck profile. But yeah, you have that line of text. You have the lose 2,000 life points. Change one special summon monster your opponent controls to rock. Again, not using that because we're not using Super Poly in this list. And then you have the skill that we actually use on this card, which is discard 1 card and add a Dark Fusion from your deck to your hand. So you can just pitch a card. You can pitch a rock monster, search a Dark Fusion, or pitch a Fiend and search Dark Fusion. So yeah, that's always good. Going into our magnet engine. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this setup figured out. I'm using my mic and everything. We're playing 3 Delta. Delta is the only 3 of for this engine that we're playing. The only other target that we're playing for monsters for the magnet engine is 1 Beta. Playing multiples of this felt really bad. There was a version of this list where I was playing 3 Delta, 2 Beta, 3 Field, 2 Metaverse, and I was just very magnet heavy, and I didn't like it, you know? The magnets are supposed to be the primary focus of the deck, or the primary powerhouse of the deck, but keeping the engine small always just felt better to me. So along with this, we're playing the card that makes them good, which is Magnetic Field. We're playing 2 copies of it, and then we're also playing 1 copy of Metaverse, because it finds Magnetic Field on our opponent's end phase and shuffles our deck and makes our draws a little better, deck thins a little bit. For a while there, like I said, I was playing 3 Field. I played around with 2 Beta. I played around with 3 Delta, 1 of each of the little guys, and a Valkyrion. Or, you know, we were playing, at one point I had a 30 card list where we were playing 3 Delta, 3 Beta, 2 Mag Field, and a Valkyrion, just so, you know, we could search for Valkyrion, because the skill at the time was Magnetic Attraction, and we weren't playing Dark Fusion, and we were just playing 2 Dark Calling, and I found that this version was the best in testing, so this is what I ran with for the event. These cards are insane. These cards mixed with our main Fiend make like a 2800 and 2900 Dark Gaia. So sometimes, because like there are Dark Gaia lists out there that want to make big Unga Bunga thing, but honestly, if I want to make, I think the biggest Dark Gaia that this deck can make is a 5,000. It's a 5,000 Dark Gaia, and that's with 2 specific cards. It's usually the Dark Gaia that we go into second, because they are 2 Monarch cards. But yeah, that's it for our Magnet Engine. Really happy with the ratios. There were times in the event where I wanted to play a second beta, but I found myself, there were times where I was normal summoning Delta to send another Delta before I even sent the beta, because either I drew the beta or just getting the extra copies of Delta out of the deck were more pertinent because I had drawn 2 Delta. So yeah, going into the rest of the deck, we have 3 other rocks that we were playing for the event. Last minute include, literally like the night before the event, we put in 2 Jujitsu Master. Me and Austin talked about this card a good bit in detail in combination with Wabaku and Magnetic Field. Jujitsu fulfills the requirements for Magnetic Field to summon back a Magnet Warrior from your graveyard, being an Earth Rock monster, and Jujitsu Master plus Wabaku is amazing because it just fate seals the card from your opponent. It just kind of like it's kind of like 2-card Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, which I guess Phoenix Wing Wind Blast is a 2-card combo anyways, because you have to have a discard, or 1.5, whatever. But this is just kind of like Speed Duel's version of Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. So yeah, just a quick note on Wabaku. I only played 2 copies. There was definitely a reason to play 3. Looking back, I probably would play 3 if I would have been able to found my 3rd. So that's like the main reason why I didn't play 3. And then the last rock that we played for the night was Grand Marg. This card plus Malicious Edge is how we make a 5,000 Gaia. This card overperformed. It was cracking koalas. It was cracking everything, dude. I absolutely loved seeing Grand Marg in my hand, because either I was going to pull an early Dark Fusion, summon a small Gaia, sack it for Grand Marg, and then Dark Calling for a big Gaia, or I could basically continually recur my my Beta or Delta from the graveyard to continually summon back fodder to summon Grand Marg. So Grand Marg, great include. Jujitsu Masters overperformed. This card, oh my god, this card was absolutely insane. I think Jujitsu Master should become another kind of quote-unquote staple monster. Like, if you have a couple of extra flex spots in your deck, Jujitsu Master should be in your deck. Going into our Fiends, we played 2 copies of Sphere Kuriboh. This card is weird because it's the smallest Fiend target that we play in the deck, hopefully, short of using a 0 Dark Gaia in the graveyard. So, this card helped out a good bit. Killed a lot of Cloudians in testing, weirdly. And honestly, making smaller Dark Gaias in this deck didn't feel terrible, because, running into koalas, running into other decks that like to wall up, you could just make like a 1900 Dark Gaia with, Delta plus Sphere Kuriboh, or if you could do that, or you could Delta send Beta, and then Dark Calling with the Sphere Kuriboh in your hand, make a 2000 Dark Gaia, declare with the Gaia, flip up the board, and then bonk into whatever you can't clear with either one of the monsters with the Delta, take a little bit of damage and bounce it back to your opponent's hand with the Magnet Field. So yeah, this card was amazing. I thought about cutting it down to 1, but I feel like only playing 1, there's no real reason to play it. The main fiend we do play in the deck is Santa Claus, and again, huge shout out to Austin Davis, because these were strictly going to be Malicious Edges, and that's it. And I'm just gonna put Malicious Edge down here too. These were the 5 fiends that we ran in the deck. This card was amazing. Being able to, you know, give my opponent a Fiend Kaiju, give them a draw, to win in the grind game if we come down to like a locked field and nobody can clear anything, and then being able to declare on something on the field with Dark Gaia, turn this to attack position, and then either attack over it or declare with one of the magnets first, take a little bit of damage, and then bounce the Santa Claus back to my hand to use it the next turn, either for a Gaia play or to summon again to force my opponent another draw, was amazing. And then Mally Edge, this was like a morning of include. This slot was originally Hades, and the reason why it was Hades is because there were things that I wanted to clear without having to deal with effects. So Swordswoman, DD Warrior Lady, you know, Rat, Turtle. We now have Mother Grizzly, so Mother Grizzly is another option. But morning of the event, I swapped it for a Mally Edge because I realized Mally Fiend is also an insane card, the fusion, that you can make in a couple of different instances. So you could, I think the one way that I did it in testing was I went Delta Send Beta. Yeah, I went Delta Send Beta, Magfield Summon Back Beta, Dark Fusion using Mally Edge, and I can't remember how exactly I did it, but the combo line included making Dark Gaia plus Mally Fiend. So we we made Dark Gaia, and then we Dark Calling, banished Santa Claus and Mally Edge from the graveyard to make Mally Fiend. And that's just kind of like an FTK. I feel like not a lot of people can clear that. So yeah, this was like our little Fiend package. I really enjoyed it. I kind of wanted another Monarch, but Mally Edge plus Grand Marg makes us our 5,000 Dark Gaia, so it's like our limitation to when people want to play a Dark Gaia deck. You gotta play big things to make big Dark Gaia. And then the last 3 cards we're playing in the list is just 1 copy of Dark Fusion, 2 copies of Dark Calling. I saw this card too much. I'm probably going to cut it down to 1 in the next version of this list, but 2 is okay. I'm not going to lie. 2 was okay. I saw a lot of double Dark Calling in hands that I just didn't want to see Dark Calling in because I couldn't make a Dark Gaia yet, or I couldn't make a Mally Fiend. So yeah, these just kind of hurt, but they, you know, Dark Fusion's searchable. Dark Fusion's kind of the whole point of the deck. And then for the extra deck, speaking of Dark Fusion, we were playing 2 Dark Gaia and a Mally Fiend. Like I said, there were times in the tournament against Austin that I wanted to have, that if I would have had a 3rd Dark Gaia, I would have won, and I would have gotten first place at the event. But honestly, just couldn't get there. And then the last 3 targets in the extra deck, not like it mattered. We just played these 3 because they were the 3 I still had in the proper extra deck sleeves. So those are the ones that we chose to play. So yeah, that's going to be it for this deck profile. I had a lot of fun playing this list. Again, huge shout out to Austin for kind of researching this deck with me and building it with me, and just generally just helping me build this deck to its peak performance, because I know that I wouldn't have been able to process this deck very well without his help. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you all like this content and want to see more content like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Share me with your friends so that I can, you know, reach our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this year. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. See you guys.